This is not a brand new car. It's a 2015 Ford Falcon XR8 Sprint. Remember them? Yeah, me too. Why are we testing it then? Because underneath its familiar face lies a phoenix rising from the ashes of the end of the Falcon's existence. Officially, it's called the Holy Grail, a modified package of parts from Premcar, the brains behind FPV. Unofficially, it's a reborn Falcon GT-HO. The Falcon GT-HO is the most revered badge in the Blue Oval's local history, developed in the late 1960s as a homologation special to win at Bathurst, which it did in 1970 and 71 with Alan Moffat behind the wheel. The Phase 3 XY GT-HO was, at the time, the fastest four-door sedan in the world, and today original examples are worth more than $1 million to muscle car collectors. But the GT-HO was also too fast for its own good, and future developments, including the Phase 4 XA model, were shelved amid a supercar scare by 1973. Fast forward to 2015, and as Ford was preparing to farewell the Falcon for good, the engineering team behind all FPV models had developed a plan to revive the spirit of the Hoey and create a heroic swan song model that would match, if not better, the rival HSV GTSR W1 as Australia's greatest muscle car. And this is what it would have been. Limited to just 100 examples, the Holy Grail is not a cheap upgrade. The engine modifications alone cost just under 25 grand. Plus, it requires a new exhaust system for an additional 4.5. And then a major overhaul to the chassis will set you back about 15 grand. Meaning punters will have to fork out over $44,000 if they choose to go the whole hog. And while that might seem like a lot of coin, it is worth pointing out that HSV charged $170,000 for the W1, and the Holy Grail package is just as comprehensive. The engine upgrades for starters include the fitment of a triple bypass intercooler within a new intake manifold, as well as a separate front-mounted air-to-water heat exchanger. There's a new power steering pump and recalibrated engine management computer that raises the rev limiter to 7,000 RPM. Helping it produce its staggering outputs of 483 kilowatts and 753 newton meters. By comparison, the most powerful Falcon officially produced was the last of the breed FPV GTF, which generated just 351 kilowatts and 570 newton meters. As for the chassis bits, it includes fully adjustable coilover shock absorbers, as well as lightweight 19-inch forged alloy wheels, measuring 9.5 inches wide at the front and 10.5 inches at the back. The latter only possible because of a redesigned anodized alloy trail blade in the rear suspension. Those wheels are wrapped in super sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. So the obvious question is, what's it actually like to drive? And is this the Messiah, or just a very naughty boy? Well, in fact it's both. Driving it normally, you wouldn't even know that it's a modified Falcon. The guys at Premcar are the same people who developed the FPV GT right from the beginning, so they definitely know their way around it. It's got a nice little burble on the exhaust that wasn't there in the original, but otherwise, it just feels like a normal Falcon. From the engine's point of view, the handling though is vastly different, even at low speeds. The steering is much improved. It has great on-center feel. It has none of that sort of elastic element that the Falcon had. It's also got none of that roll, but the coilover dampers haven't spoiled its ride, surprisingly. It's still comfortable, effortless, and a cruisy car to drive. But what does 480 kilowatts in a Falcon feel like? This. Oh my god, it's got so much surge. It just pulls like a freight train. That's fourth gear, over 200 k's an hour, and it's not stopping. Wow. And it sounds awesome. That extra 1,000 revs at the top of the rev range is simply staggering. It's got so much grunt up there, but the noise it makes, oh my god, that's addictive. And when you really get stuck into it, that's where the handling stuff comes along, because I haven't driven a Falcon that is this sharp ever. Turn in is brilliant. The mid-corner grip, it just sits really quite flat and progressive. And then open it up, and I'm in a time warp. Now the problem with having that much grunt in anything other than this car was the rear end. It simply couldn't handle it. You would be oversteering, your tyres would be lighting up everywhere, it'd be wobbling around like it was on jelly. This thing, not at all. It's got brand new suspension blades in it which allowed the fitment of 10.5 inch wide tyres. And those tyres themselves are Michelin Pilot Cup Sport 2s, the same as you'll find on Porsche GT3s and the like. It's got so much grip, it's awesome. As Monty Python was on the quest to find the Holy Grail, they encountered the knights who say "Neh." Not here. This is a knights who say "Yeah." Oh, I want this thing. What an awesome machine. Come back and fight. Not even a flesh wound.